Alright everybody, it's time to talk about Weekly Shonen Jump 2026, issue number 17. Blue Box takes the cover this week. Very, very nice cover, as always. Just really sweet. Obviously, Chinatsu is the focus, but then we get little chibi versions of all the other main characters, Hina, Taiki, Kyo, and Ayame. Very sweet, and nice to have this in what will likely be the series' final year. I don't really see the series going beyond this year, but it is still possible, as this year goes on. We're at the end of March now, and I definitely feel like the end is coming, but it still feels a little far off. So it could go into next year. I don't know. We'll see. But regardless, it'll be within the next year, I have to imagine, at the very least. Nothing else really notable to talk about this week. It's also going to be a short week because we only have like 18 series, maybe 17 to talk about. I think it's 18 to talk about this week. Jump's running thin right now. They're it's going to be like this for the next couple weeks because evidently Gonron Egg still hasn't ended. Gotta be soon. Next week, maybe? I cannot believe it's still going. It's actually blowing my mind. At least it gives us more chapters of Mage Next Door. That's the one good thing about it. But yeah, we're approaching a new batch. It's gonna be any week now. Just gotta wait it out. Get these series out of here. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about this issue. Blue Box Chapter 235, the same box. Forget everything I just said in the intro. This series is absolutely ending this year. Like, this leaves no doubt at all. We're getting close to the end. This was an incredibly sweet chapter. We're going back to where it all started. This was their first, date. Back then, it wasn't known as a date at the time, but, it is what it is. A really great full circle chapter. I just really like coming back here right before Taiki's big, regional tournament and having cute callback moments along the way. It's just super nice and definitely very final feeling. Like we're getting into the last stretch of the series now. We gotta get through the regionals, and then after that it's probably wrap up, honestly. The fact that their first date was in an aquarium and coming back here again it hits me in a way. It hit me back then too when I read this, because my first high school date also was at an aquarium. So it's just funny how that works. It's just kind of a similar vibe where didn't really know if it was a date, that kind of deal. So it's very relatable, and it's nice to see it in manga form, I guess, something I can relate to so directly. It's literally, that's pretty much what I experienced in high school. Never went back with that girl later, but the relationship didn't last as long as these two's. So wasn't really an opportunity for that. But hey, it's nice that they get to do it. Anyway, just a super nice chapter. I love, how Chinatsu set up the whole thing with the other badminton players at the end too, just getting some more practice in, showing how much she cares about his passion as well. And it just alleviates any fears I had about some kind of conflict at the end. Like, do I choose badminton or do I choose Chinatsu? That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I think we're just riding straight through with very little drama to be had in the relationship department, at least. I'm sure we got some sports drama coming up, but these two are fine. No worries. Lovely chapter. Ichi the Witch Chapter 75, Coming Together. Another absolutely incredible chapter, very much focusing on Minnie, giving birth. But also, Jikishi Rone is taking a big spotlight this week, which I really appreciate. This arc has been a lot, not in equal part exactly, but it has been also a lot about Jikishi Rone and developing her character and making her, understand, I suppose, what Ichi is fighting for, what his existence is, and maybe figuring out that she has a larger purpose in the world. And this is the culmination of that. Minnie doesn't really get to talk a whole lot in this chapter, but obviously it's very much about her still. This is her thing. she's giving birth. But the one that actually delivers the kind of stinger line of the chapter is Jikishi Rone, who holds this baby and just says, "You're the wrinkliest little thing, and yet you're still the cutest baby ever. How do you manage that, huh? Thank you for being born." It's so sweet because this whole arc we've had her struggle with that vision she saw of Minnie dying, and the whole time she's like, it's absolute, it's gonna happen. What can I do? But Ichi proving her wrong, and I mean, also Crow proving her wrong in some regard, but mostly Ichi proving that fate isn't predetermined. It can be changed, and holding this baby right now, it hits her all at once. It's like, oh my god. Nothing turned out the way I thought it would. We lost Crow, but at least his legacy lives on. And that is just such a beautiful thing coming from this character. Her story has been in the background this whole time. I never really viewed it as much of a forefront focus, but it was there, and upon reread, I'm sure I'll be able to hone in on it even more, because obviously I was so fixated on Crow and Minnie this whole time that I've been thinking about Chikishi Rone, and I've really appreciated her journey, but to now see the full picture of it, what a beautiful thing that was. It just goes to show you how perfect this arc is on all fronts. It sticks every landing, it does everything right. And then it's amazing how Ichi and Chikishi Rone get to do like the "you son of a bitch" thing together at the end. It's it's so funny to me. It's an awesome moment. Like, yeah, let's do it. Let's save the world. But I don't know, just the way they dap each other up is really funny to me. Amazing chapter once again. Just what an amazing conclusion to the arc. I guess there might be still a little tiny bit of wrap up. I think we got to focus on Minnie more. Like, obviously this chapter was about her as well, but I think Chikishi Rone was more so the focus this time. Gotta wrap up Minnie properly, maybe even do like a funeral for Crow or something. I think that would be really sweet. But the end is basically here, and what an arc it was. One for the history books. One Piece chapter 1177, Furious. Incredibly impressive chapter, actually. This is probably the best chapter of One Piece in a while. I loved this one. Like, it did pretty much everything right. I am really appreciative of the climax of this arc actually giving the Straw Hats something to do, which is something that has been really lacking in this series for a while. The Straw Hats end up kind of feeling like background characters in some arcs. But here, they're all getting moments. Chopper gets to go Monster Point again, even though we don't get to actually see the transformation. It happens off screen, whatever. It's been a while since I've seen Monster Point. So it's just cool to see again do anything, and it just makes sense. Like, yeah, we're fighting giants. Why wouldn't you go Monster Point? And of course, Usopp. Here we go. A moment. It's not everything I wanted, but it's something. At least there's acknowledgement that, yeah, this is my dream. This is a place I've been dreaming about for years, and, it's being attacked. You're not respecting it. You're not respecting the dreams of Elbaf, the culture, the people, the things I admire about it, the kingdom's strength. It was a really great moment for him, regardless of, it being kind of too little too late. It worked. Maybe this isn't the end. There might be more to him still, and maybe in the conclusion of this arc, whenever it's all calm, we'll get some more Usopp content out of this arc. But regardless, this was nice. This was very much appreciated. So thank you, Oda. Did you put this in because you just watched that episode of the live action? Is that what happened? Probably not. I gotta have some more faith in Oda than that, but still, I'm glad this happened. And ending on a angry Gear 5 Luffy, which is not something I think we've seen before. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure every time we've seen Gear 5 thus far, he's just been his happy self. That's the whole point of the form, but here he's actually angry in this form, which is honestly something I wasn't even sure was possible because of what this form means. But I think this is really interesting, and I feel that this could be a shift. Like, I feel like we could see a change in Gear 5 here, because this is something that's always stuck in my mind, and I'm sure it was just intended to be like a gag, although I'm not really sure anymore. It could have been foreshadowing. If you remember, there's a comedic scene in Egghead where I don't even really remember what's happening exactly. It's like some food is fake, like it's like the fake hologram food or something. I don't know. I don't remember. Something, he was getting mad about something. And he gets like, gag manga mad, and his hair, he goes like Gear 5 for a second. His hair kind of goes red. And I just wonder if that is actually a bit of foreshadowing for what happens to Gear 5 when he gets mad. By the way, the red thing is just an anime thing. That's what they chose to make it look like. In the manga, you couldn't really tell it was red, but I think they get the colors from Oda, right? Maybe? I don't know. So, maybe? I don't know. Just throwing that out, because that's a detail that's always stuck in my mind. It's just an interesting thing that happened with Gear 5, an interesting application of it that, yes, is comedic, but could also be an indicator of something real. Either way, this was an awesome, awesome chapter. I really loved it the whole way through. I'm so glad we got the Usopp moment. Really good art, too, this time around. I thought it looked really visually consistent. Still has the messy paneling. I know I can talk about that forever, but on the whole, it looked really good. This final page, that, the looming Loki over like the battlefield is so cool looking. I absolutely love that. Great stuff. Was really impressed. Someone Hertz chapter 26, Their World. Another lovely chapter. I love this moment. with Motsuo picking up this dog because it has the same, it's named Potato, Eel Potato. So she's like, oh, same name as me. I guess I gotta do something about this. It's just really funny. Oh, and then the two of them listening to Monmid while the fireworks are happening. It's so perfect for the two of them, you know? I love these two's relationship. It's really sweet. And we really seem to be getting somewhere fast. Like, I could see this series actually starting the relationship at a much quicker pace than most romance series would. Because this is a series where, again, we have a very limited cast, which I appreciate. But because of that, it's like, what are we really gonna just do like 200 chapters of ship teasing until something happens? I don't think so. I actually think this is going to be a series where it has them date sooner than most and explore the relationship throughout the rest of its run. I don't think it's going to happen necessarily anytime soon, but maybe around like the chapter 50 range, we could see the relationship start. Just saying. Who knows? Big moves though, inviting him back to her place, that's huge. Nothing's gonna happen, but you know, it's still a move, regardless of if they think it is or not. I'm sure she doesn't view it that way, but you know, that's a big deal. Very cute chapter all around. I loved their interactions and I loved just seeing them handle this situation all around. It was very sweet. Main Roboco Chapter 274, The Gang and Sushi. Kind of just an average chapter of Roboco, to be honest. I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. It was mildly funny, like a couple times, but on the whole, this one didn't really do a whole lot for me. I don't know. It is what it is. Anytime like the Heavens Arena referee shows up, it's really funny, but you know, you can only laugh at that so many times. It's happened an ungodly amount of times throughout the series run, so I mean, you kind of become numb to it at some point, but hey, still got a little chuckle out of me. Not bad, not good, just, it's a chapter. Ultimate Exorcist Kiyoshi Chapter 85, The Great Demon Lord Helzebobo. Really cool chapter. It's nice to see it so high on the TOC. This happens every once in a while, but it's definitely inconsistent with its TOC placements, but it's nice to see it in like the upper 10. Goro had an awesome moment. I love, like I was talking last week about how I'm excited to see him when he's angry, and this is an awesome payoff. He just like immediately jumps in and bites the guy's arm off. That's the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life. Obviously it doesn't really work out though. He gets his ass beat and then promptly saved by Kiyoshi, who was finally making his debut, and it was just as awesome as I wanted it to be. So excited to see him in action again. It's been a minute. It's gonna be sick. Always happy to see more like, you know, Kiyoshi not being overly serious as well. He gets, you know, the cool entrance, but then immediately we get the turn it on his head and be like, oh my god, that was actually stressful as hell. Love that about Kiyoshi. It's something that is always present in his character, but it's not always at the forefront. So I'm just glad to see it still be a thing. It's not something that was like forgotten or dropped. It's something that helps make the series stand out more. So it's nice to see them actually committing to it. Really cool chapter. Very excited to see this fight. It's going to be another awesome one. Can't wait. Kinato's Magic Chapter 8, Move Kinato. Not a bad one. Evidently the series is doing very well because this is a really high TOC placement for its first placement. And I mean, I guess that just means this whole batch is pretty damn successful. I'm very much anticipating Alien Headbutt next week. I hope it's higher than both this and Underdoctor because it deserves it. We'll see though. Don't let me down, Japan. Come on, dude. Please. If that's in like the bottom 10 or God forbid bottom 5, I'm going to be so pissed off. It deserves to be higher than both of these. Anyway, this is a good chapter. Nothing too crazy in my opinion, but it is driving home that, you know, Kinato's a guy you can root for. He's cool. It's not anything groundbreaking. This is very typical tropey stuff that he's doing here. Just like, I can't abandon her. I'll save her. I know I can. Whenever everybody else has given up. You've seen this probably hundreds of thousands of times at this point in reading manga. But hey, it's still cool. And I appreciate the effort. It's got style. It has a personality. This is an enjoyable series. It is losing me a little bit. I feel like it's losing a bit of its charm. But I'm on board. I think it's an enjoyable read, and that's all I can really ask for. You know, it's not reinventing the wheel, but it is making an entertaining set of characters. Not really story yet. The story is not very engaging in my opinion, but I'm at least drawn in by the cast. They're fun to be around. So yeah, another good chapter. We'll see where it goes. I don't know yet. Not completely sold, but I could see it really blowing me away at some point. Or it could go the exact opposite way. Really, it could go either way. It could be dog shit or it could be really good. Not much in between. I guess it could just kind of be average, Who knows? If it's average, then sure. I guess I'm down to read it. Why not?
Get this man a gun.
Sakamoto Days, chapter 252, Reason. Another really good chapter. I'm very much enjoying this Osaragi and Shishiba stuff. It's really working for me. It's a lot of the stuff in Sakamoto Days hasn't been super landing for me, but this is very much so. This is awesome. The beginning, I love like framing Osaragi as kind of like a horror movie demon. It's just awesome. And then turning over to the other side, we get Shishiba in all his glory going all out. Not nearly as cool as Osaragi, but whatever. What can you do? It's bound to happen, but still really cool, don't get me wrong. And this chapter planted the thought in my mind, what if they both die? Now here's the thing. I don't think Sakamoto Days is capable of that. I've never seen it do anything like that before, like a complete tragedy like that. It's just doesn't feel like it's in the series' bones. I don't know, this chapter just implanted that thought in me and I can't really shake it. Like, what if this all, like, we have this big buildup, like, they gotta reunite, they gotta live for each other, they're both, and realizing that they live for each other. They are alive to be there for each other. And then they reunite and just die together. I don't know. Like, it literally just feels like an impossible thing to happen within Sakamoto Days, but it also feels completely possible. Like, this is really something that could happen. I don't know. I'm opening the floor for discussion. Any Sakamoto Days readers out there? I don't get a whole lot of Sakamoto Days comments anymore, to be honest, but I know you're out there. Maybe you've just been quiet lately. What do you think of that possibility? I personally, even though I brought this idea to the table, I'm thinking absolutely not. There's like no way that happens. I would respect it if it did, but I just cannot see like a non-happy ending happening in this series, and especially for these two characters. Although I guess if there's any characters to do it for, like kind of a tragedy ending, but also sort of happy at the same time, I guess it could be these two, because they're not like main characters exactly. I don't know. Talk to me about it. I'm curious about what you guys think about the possibility of it happening. We'll see. I don't know. It's just a thought I had. Cool chapter though. I really enjoyed this one. I'm excited and very curious now, I guess, to see what happens with this. Alien Headbutt, Chapter 7, Double Team. Okay, exactly as I said. I can't remember if I said it out loud last week, actually, about Tatsumi getting a parasite. I think I did, but that's where we're going. I was very shocked by the panel where his like whole side gets blown off, very Bleach-esque. But then I came to the realization, okay, no, yeah, this is how he gets his parasite. This is how he becomes a fighter. Like, he's going to be, Tatsumi is going to be like a character in this series, for sure, 100%. And for good reason. I think just adding more and more characters that have very unique fighting styles will be very beneficial for this. A guy that fights with a sling is so cool. It would have been a shame to see that go to waste like that, but I'm glad it's not. Beyond that, there's not really a whole lot to say about this chapter. This is more of a chapter just about like figuring out that, oh yeah, I should probably put a parasite in him. That's kind of the gist of the whole thing, but the next chapter will be awesome, I'm sure. Still very good on its own, I suppose. Just this will work well, better with the chapter following it. Shinobi Undercover, Chapter 74, Fight Beyond That Door. This is pretty cool. Not a whole lot to say about it. Just a really cool action chapter with a lot of cool little individual character moments thrown about. Love a good team fight. Love a good two fights happening at the same time, even though we don't really touch on Yotaka's situation in this chapter, but it's, I don't know, it's cool to know that it's also happening at the same time with a guy that has like the same powers. Fun. And then we end with, you know, what's her name showing up. This is very embarrassing to admit, but I kind of forgot her name. Even though like the whole thing is about rescuing her. Completely slipped my mind. I don't remember. I don't really like her to begin with, but hey, this moment with her, Kasasagi? Is that it? It just popped in my head. Is that right? I won't look it up. I'll just put this out on the internet and you guys can shame me if I'm wrong. I won't even verify. Is that right? I don't know. Did it actually come to me? Am I right about that? Kasasagi? That's right. That's definitely right. Or is that a different character? I don't know. I don't know. Whatever. Let me know. Anyway, I do like her bubble powers. I think they're cool. We don't really get to see a whole lot of it here, but I mean, we'll see more of it next chapter, presumably. And I like that she gets inspired by these kids that she was formerly like kind of criticizing their strategies of. So that's fun. Fun little moment. Cool chapter. I liked it.
Doctor, doctor, give me the news. I got a bad case of...
Under Doctor Chapter 9, An Arrogant Doctor. Just like that, the series has won me over again. This was very, very nice. man, this worked so damn well. I'm very impressed once again. This is the same kind of feeling I got from chapter 1. This is what I like about the series. And it's just nice to see that Heiji is human. He's somebody who gets upset about their failures, you know. He's not a perfect doctor. I mean, he is. He did the surgery right. I guess it's just a stroke of bad luck, as he said. That sucks. It happens. That's life. But the fact that he takes that stroke of bad luck and turns it into, you know, blaming himself is just a sign of how selfless he is. He feels like even though it was just a stroke of bad luck, he still could have somehow done it better. And then to see him, the one thing I guess I it didn't really entirely work for this chapter for me was the fact that the surgery in the present was just kind of completely skimmed over. There was like no tension whatsoever, but it's fine. It's not really what this is about, because now we get to bring it all home with him visiting the grave of the patient he lost, which I think is going to be really nice. If we get to see it, I hope we do. I hope it doesn't just cut away. That'd be crazy if it did. I don't see that happening. I think we'll get it next chapter. Really strong chapter though, all around. You know, one moment kind of didn't completely work with me, but I mean, it's fine. Whatever. You can't win them all. Solid chapter. I really, really like this one. Got me back on board, like pretty much entirely now. We'll see how I feel the next time it turns into a battle shonen, but for now, it's on my good side. Let's see how long it lasts. Witchwatch Chapter 241, Bone Crisis Part 10. This is actually an interesting way to take the story. I wasn't expecting this. We have Morihito kind of doing a self-sacrifice-y-ish thing, sort of. Wasn't by choice, just kind of happened. Trying to be selfless about it, just being like, forget about me, just carry on with the plan, go, go, go. But then all of them just say, forget about it, forget the plan, we're saving Morihito. So now we get this arc kind of, you know, you can call it devolving into just being like an action, a fighting thing where it was previously sort of espionage. But we all knew it was going to get to this point anyways. We got our matchups. This will be fun to see. I'm actually pretty excited to just see like a straight like one-on-one fight with each of the characters. It's been a minute. It's not what I read this series for, but I'm still excited to see what they do. And I'm curious to see what Nico does as well, because she was kind of left in an odd spot. I thought we were going to get like a team fight at the end of last chapter. That didn't happen. She just kind of watched this happen until the last minute, which I get it, but I don't know what she'll do now. Obviously, she's like basically the main character, I guess, right? I mean, sort of, kind of. So I'm sure she'll do something. I just don't know what. Regardless, cool chapter. I actually thought this was pretty fun, and I liked this moment from Morihito as well. And everybody else for stepping up. Just another nice, you know, power friendship moment, but as tropey as it is, it still worked.
What are you doing, step bro?
WillOWisp Exorcist Chapter 138, Promise. Unfortunately, this color page is awesome as fuck, and I think it's really rad and cool and sick. I can't even lie. That is awesome. That's one of the coolest things I've seen in my life. Can't even deny it. Anyway, this chapter sucked. Soranaki is saved because... And let me read this. Gakuro Yajima, when you cut me in two, my Soranaki personality was cut off with my lower half. I rebuilt my body from that lower half. The Soranaki is stored in the balls, everybody. This is the craziest shit ever. What a dumbass explanation for restoring like a lost personality in a split personality body. What the fuck are you talking about? And then, oh look, you can now just restore Gecko with like the one touch. Fucking boring. What a dumbass way to conclude this. I wasn't even really invested in any capacity, but this is still disappointing and lame. Man, what is this nonsense? This is so dumb. I can't take anything this series does seriously. Who can? How can you? This is just so ridiculous and contrived. Oh boy. Well, brace for impact, everybody. Gekka will soon be added to the harem, and we get this new fuckboy in the cast as well. Let's go. Who's excited? We ready? Akane-banashi Chapter 199, I'm going to surpass you. Awesome chapter. The final like calm before the storm chapter before everything blows up next week. Can't wait for that. But first, I really like exploring both characters pretty sufficiently in this chapter. It's pretty much an even split of seeing both Kaisei and Akane work through their thoughts before, you know, the big performance. Kaisei definitely has his head in a different place than Akane does. He's kind of going like villain mode right now. That's a very villain-esque panel that you see right there, whole page even. Whereas Akane just gets a nice conversation with Hikaru, but I liked that a lot. I was really happy we got just a nice conversation with the two of them. These are two characters I very much enjoy seeing interactions with, so to see just, yeah, they're just talking, hanging out in a hotel room or a boat room, whatever. I don't know what you'd call that. As Akane resolves herself to finally take this guy down, he's gonna put him in his place and also show Isho who the boss is. Finally prove herself to him directly by taking down like his direct disciple. Very, very exciting. I cannot wait to see this duel, as it's being called. So excited. This is going to be amazing. You're gonna see chapter of the week swarming towards this series in the next couple weeks. I can promise you that. This is going to be some of the best stuff we've ever witnessed in this series. I can guarantee it. I'm so excited. Hima-Ten, chapter 83, Love Home Kana. Okay, well, before I get to this last page, which really threw me for a loop, it's nice to have Kana back. I thought there was some really good moments with her throughout this, but it's still just the classic stuff. And I had thought that we were doing this so we could lead to an actual, like, you know, rejection from Iemori, but instead, what the hell, brother? You don't ask that. He asks her after not even rejecting her, really. He just kind of says like, hold on, let me read this whole quote. This is unreal. He says, "I don't want to just shut you down, but I can't reject you because you haven't technically asked me out. Then I want to know, what was it about me you fell for?" Dude, that is not the right move. You don't just ask that. You're basically, she talks all this shit like about how, oh, you weren't leading me on, you were totally fine, I get it. Now you are. You are. If you say this, you're just basically being like, I'm not gonna reject you yet because I want information out of you. What the fuck, bro? What are you doing? This is crazy. Dude, Kana, kick him out. This is ridiculous. You do not have to answer that. I know she's going to because this is written by a dumbass man, I'm sure. But what the fuck? I just cannot imagine being in his shoes and asking this question. What are you thinking? What an asshole, dude. Yeah, I'm not gonna date you, but please tell me what you like about me. Dude, oh my god, what the fuck? This is not okay. That's not how this shit works. Holy, that's crazy. That is some crazy work. This changes my perception of Iemori. What a dick. Alright, well, that's Hima-Ten this week. Sorry, Kana. She just gets the short end of the stick throughout this entire series, I guess. No break for her. Wow. Grown Demon Lord Call It Quits, chapter 18. The hero wants to make him laugh. You know, this series isn't bad right now. I know it's going to end anyway, so who really gives a shit? But it is... I like the dynamic shift now that we know the whole story about the Demon Lord, and now that we have a clear goal to just make him happy. And we start with making him laugh. And cute moment. It worked. I don't know, and I think it's cool how she has like this connection to the first hero in her like mind palace. It's a fun little thing. I don't know. I think this should have been what the series was about to begin with. Could this save the series? Low key, maybe. I don't know. I could see it happening. I think it's still pretty unlikely to happen, but I mean, it is possible. Like, series can come back from the depths of hell. It's not impossible. Do I really want to see it happen though? No, not really. I still kind of want to get this thing out of here so we can get something more interesting in, but credit where credit's due. It's not bad. This is fine. I don't know. It's like doing something for me, whereas previously it was doing literally nothing for me across the board. So I'll take it. It's fine. Mage Next Door, chapter 19, Ine the Mage. Not a great chapter, to be honest. This one was kind of weak. It's fine. I just kind of feel like with a series that has so little chapters left, we should be really just hard focusing on our main characters. It is what it is, though, I guess. At least we get this cool moment with Hosoegawa telling Yokubo that, you know, he's counting on her to handle things down there. So we'll get each of them having their own fights, which is what I was wanting. There's only two characters really in the spotlight, so it's not hard to give them both moments to shine. But I am really excited to see like a serious fight with Yokubo, because she has a really cool skill set that hasn't really been explored too much. And I'm sure the intention was throughout the series, you know, to develop that more and have her learn from Hosoegawa more than likely, and have her utilize her abilities in unique ways the same way he does. But that didn't happen. Wasn't in the cards. So We'll see. I'm really excited to see how this plays out, to be honest, even though it's getting axed, but there is plenty of room for a really fun and creative end to the series. So let's see it. I think it'll be cool.
Can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time?
Gonron Egg Chapter 20 hatching. Another week, another Gonron Egg Chapter, and it's still not over somehow. Chapter 20, man. How did it make it past U19? This is so crazy. I know they got nothing in the pipeline right now, but this is just insane. I don't know. We got another design. New Oma design just dropped. It's interesting. That's about all I can say about it. It's just kind of over-designed in my opinion. I don't know. Nothing in the series really works for me anymore as if it ever did, but I mean, I at least used to think some designs were pretty cool looking, but lately it's just been like, I don't know, I'm just throwing shit at a wall and seeing what sticks. Let's just give this design everything I've ever thought of in my life and put it on the paper. I don't know, whatever. We're almost free. I'm just gonna save all my big thoughts until the end. There's no point in talking about it now or else I'll have nothing to say in the final chapter, so I'll leave it at that. It was Gonron Egg. Again. Chapter 20. Wow. Alright everybody, that's going to do it for our weekly Shonen Jump 2026 issue number 17. This was a pretty good issue, nothing too crazy, but you know, a lot of transitional stuff in this chapter, a lot of bridge chapters. Nothing groundbreaking, but we're getting to a lot of good places and a lot of series, so exciting times ahead, I'm sure. But as always, one chapter did stand out amongst the rest, and my chapter of the week this week goes to One Piece, chapter 1177, Furious. I just think this was a really well-rounded chapter with a lot of great moments from a lot of different characters. The art looked pretty damn good for modern One Piece standards. I thought it was really clean looking. The line art was a lot better than I'm used to, so that was nice. Usopp moment, hell yeah. And it of course gave us a legendary panel, which I didn't discuss in the actual discussion of the chapter, but we did get Luffy and Squirrel. Two goats. Just a super solid chapter of One Piece, can't complain. As for next week, Akane-banashi takes the cover. It hasn't been long since it's been on the cover, but I'm excited to see it again. In fact, hey, I have the issue where it was on the cover last. I bought it recently. There you go. So soon we'll have another addition to our Akane-banashi cover collection. Can't wait. They're always very nice. I guess this one isn't like crazy or anything, but it does look nice. I just love seeing the two of them together. And that could happen again. I feel like it'll just be Akane, but we'll see. I don't know. All right, that's all I got for this week. Thank you for watching, and remember to like, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts on this issue. Let me know your favorite chapter of the week or your least favorite chapter of the week or anything else you'd like to tell me about from this issue. Also, remember you can become a channel member at 3 tiers. You can click the join button to see what tier works best for you, but you can get things like early access to new videos, name in the credits, custom emojis, exclusive monthly videos, and if you join at the highest tier, you will get your name read out loud right now. So thank you to DJ Tengen, Milu Kitty, Braden Farrell, Halfpipe, Rafker, The Cosmere 64, Cosmic, Key to the Skies, Iliadis, Noobs Rock, and Dan. Thank you all so much for your support, and thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in whatever you decide to watch next. Take it easy, guys.